strong for me. Okay, let's get this started. Hello everybody, welcome to Merry Monday. I hope everybody had a really good weekend. I actually had a really good weekend. Last night we went out for my friend's birthday to this really nice Asian restaurant. Oh, I got this grilled plate. Oh, let me tell you. I started with wonton soup, and then I stole one of my friend's dumpling in peanut butter sauce. But my meal was delicious. It was just a really nice evening. Jacob stayed home. We went to his great aunt's place and with Ruru, that's what he calls her, Ruru, and spent the evening with her. And we went out for dinner with some other friends, and it was a really good weekend. And Saturday I didn't do a lot. I was kind of feeling bleh on Saturday. I basically worked on things for my store, focused on that all day. So it's Merry Monday. I didn't do Merry Monday last week. I wasn't feeling it. I kind of got a little groove today, but I'm really going to have to start to really focus, turn all of Monday into Merry Monday. A lot of times I do my video and then I put all my Christmas stuff away. But if I'm actually going to get Christmas stuff, I got to officially make Merry Monday, Merry Monday. So I've already been kind of working on it this morning. Just trying to figure out where I want to go with this one. You know, sometimes you hit that where it flows really nicely and then all of a sudden, next week I want to be able to pull out all the stickers and my lace and finish this off. That's my goal. I want to have this finished next week. So I got to still put something in that pocket. I got to finish that. So let's go ahead. I'm hoping I was thinking maybe I could do something like this. I have Scentsy. I sell Scentsy and I love Scentsy. Excuse me, but I put a scent in and boy, it really is bothering me a lot. I'm just coughing and coughing. I almost can taste it in the back of my mouth, and sometimes I get like that with certain scents. And I love the smell of it when it's in the package, but the moment the cinnamon in it is so strong, it's like overwhelming me. I feel like it's in the back of my throat. And I've drank lots and lots of water trying to get rid of that feeling, but it's just there. I should have brought a piece of brown cardstock. And here I go. I turn on the video. I start yawning. I just wished I knew why that happened. It's so funny. Let me grab a piece of cardstock. Doesn't really matter the color. Just if I can get my fingers in there. Don't have a lot of time today. I've been having a slow start to the day as it was. And then I've just been buzzing around on my computer and looking at my Christmas journal, seeing where I want to go with it, looking at some ideas and that. So And then I made some lunch. I had a tea and then I made some lunch. I just had some chicken soup with a bagel. Nothing exciting. I'm making fajitas. It's Jacob's mother's birthday. Her name's Gab today. And so I'm making one of our favorites to eat, which is fajitas. And then later I got to run out at 4 and get a cake. I'm not baking one. I'm just going to buy one. I don't want to spend the afternoon baking. I want it to be working on Merry Monday, so. And sometimes, you know what, you can get some delicious cakes. And I'm already cooking fajitas, which they're easy to make. They're just, a lot of, I put peppers and onions and mushrooms. So you got to have all that prepared. And then my chicken and my beef is ready. It's marinated. And my peppers are cut. I just got to cut my onion and mushroom. I got to do a little prep too. So, because we have to go out at 4 and grab the cake and cards, because she was with us all weekend. So, we couldn't get cards. So, we're going to run out and grab that real quick, then come home and cook dinner and have dinner and cake. Jacob is very much one of these kids that on your birthday, you must have cake. I went home during my birthday, and he had called me on my birthday, wished me happy birthday, and he knows my sister very well. He was in my sister's wedding. He loves my sister. Actually, it was only the third time they met. The other time he was a baby. But whenever I call her, he's always with me. And he has just fallen in love with my sister, Teresa. So, the person who was supposed to be her ring bearer kind of bailed out at the last minute. And so she called Jacob to ask Jacob to be it. And he loved every minute of it. And he clinged to my sister like crazy. At first, he was not thrilled that Steve was marrying Teresa, because he wanted Teresa to be his girlfriend. So that took a lot of convincing him that later in life he would find his Teresa. And that right now it's Steve's time to have Steve belongs to Teresa. And once he was good with that, he has a little girl at school he really likes, and he'll come tell me, I have a girlfriend, I'm going to marry her. I love it. It's so cute. So, it's fun at that age when they get those, little crushes. So, he had called, and so we had him on speaker, and he turned to my sister. He's on my sister. He goes, Teresa, did you make Tia a cake? It's her birthday. She's supposed to have a cake. And my sister said, no, I didn't feel like it. And he was so devastated that I didn't have a cake on my birthday. And so when I finally came home, which was about a week and a half after my birthday, the first thing he did was he made his parents get cake and have cake for my birthday. He just feels that everybody should have cake on their birthday. I think part of it's too because he wants cake. I'm trying something new because I've noticed lately with my videos, I think I've got a lot of the screen showing, and when I go to watch them, I notice it's not. So I've put it higher. I can't see my screen at all now. I'm hoping I'm not working in this little space. I want it to kind of be able to, for people to see what I'm doing, but you can see my messy desk as well. I want to get a nice covering. I see all these ladies with a beautiful covering, and the desk was this small, and then my friend wanted it bigger, so he had put this on, and now he bought himself a new desk, and I took this over for my filming. But it's not really attractive. So I thought of doing what they do and get something nice on the desk. Now that I'm still doing my piles, what's on my desk, because I got a lot of piles. It should be not what's on my desk. It should be what piles today of papers am I going to clean up. So, and I love doing those videos because I just basically sit and create whatever I can find on my desk. Lately, it's been a lot of pockets. And I'm thinking, I've been on this shredded wheat kit. So I was thinking, well, maybe I'll put some Happy Mail together of some of the junk I have on my desk, and do a giveaway for it. So that might be this week on my what's on my desk. So watch for it. I'm probably going to have 2 giveaways. So be prepared. So watch for what's on my desk. Hint, most likely be tomorrow, or Wednesday. And you have to see what you can do to get on this. Now, Merry Monday is an idea. I think Twisted Papers was the one that started, and then my 507 Willow House Journals, she does it. I use the hashtag Merry Monday. So if you ever click on that, you can see other people's Merry Monday. I love the idea, but I haven't been running with it like I should. So there we go. That's all I'm going to do to that. I think it's just pretty on its own. And the only thing I need to do here is I want to ink this edge up a bit. There we go. And we're going to tuck that back in there. And perfect. I like that. I like how that looks. I didn't really want to cover a lot of this up because of the little bird. So I just added another bird to it. And I like it. And I'm not putting anything on this. It's going to be pretty just the way it is because it's so flimsy. And I did it in another journal and it didn't work. I've got to do this, finish this side. Because I have, I wasn't careful with my glue. I did this side with it, with a little something in it. So I've got to do the other side still. I just don't know what I'm doing with it yet. That was one of the things I was trying to figure out. Then I remember I said the center was causing me problems. Now, the way I seen a lady do this, but she did it a bit different, and I like her way too, but in this, I wanted to do it different. When she does it, she takes a doily, folds it in half, and then she puts it there, and it almost becomes like a triple pocket, whatever, right? I didn't want that many pockets, so I cut it in half, glued the one side, so it's going to have double pocket, and so I got one doily out. And I kept thinking, what am I going to put in the middle of this? And that's what I was working on, this thing. I'm just going to put that up there. Well, first I have to bring down the papers I gathered. Let me put that in there. So 2 things I'm going to do. I'm going to use that. I'm going to use that. And I'm going to use that. Okay, so first let me work on this one. Oh boy, that one is really bothering me. And then I'm trying to think, well, maybe I'll use a scent to water it down. Get something a little bit, maybe more of a vanilla. I'll have to see if I can find one and put it in. Because I hate wasting the bars, because I love my Scentsy bars, but they can be expensive. Where is the ruler, tear ruler I'm looking for? Found it. Took me a moment. So I because I sell a lot of, I'm doing more, trying to do some ephemera packages. I hunt for freebies and I create my own kind of vintagey. I gotta fix that, and I'll fix that again, but it'll give me most of the rough edge that I want. But, oh, excuse me. That was a yawn that turned into a burp. It's because I had just finished a soup. Nice hot soup. It's been raining yesterday night, but when we got out of the restaurant, it was just pouring. We had flood warnings here. Of course, because we're like on the descent out of the Laurentian Mountains, so we get a lot of flooding here. But it's really bad because last night it was heavy rains, and so they had flood warnings. We're not so bad. We're lucky that the house that he bought did have flooding at one time, but they fixed it all because we're on a downhill slope. So, but our neighbors, they're flooding pretty bad. So we're lucky, and our river, some of the bank is just been taken away and trees are going down. They have one road closed that's close to the river. Oh, my their eyes is bad on the side. It's the skin is up, so everything catches on it. And I can't put Band-Aid because it tears up the rest of the skin. Okay, but first, before I do that, I'm just gonna fix those pieces. You can leave them if you want. I prefer not to. But I try not to do it so straight. I kind of try to keep that rough edge to it a bit. All right, so you're going to watch me ink. Yes, I probably should have done this beforehand. But I was looking for ideas. Because I was getting too much of the same thing in this. And that's great when you buy a kit. But sometimes you need to add some other stuff just to give it just a little bit of more interest to it. And this kit is a beautiful kit that I bought 2 years ago. This journal is from 2021. So, and it's bad because I found a new lady. I really like her kits. Oh, it's almost the same style that I'm trying to design on my own, but I don't have a good program. And I want to try Canva. Canva, because they have a freebie, but I've never done an editing before. Not something I've learned, so I'm going to have to play with that, learn how you overlay and fade and find what each of the buttons do. So there we go. Sometimes I'll tear it a little just to give it that more antique-y. He's off to get Jacob out on a rainy day, and I do ink the back. And so what I did is I found this and I just printed on the back so it could be some nice writing. Yes, I want it to tear a little because I want that really vintagey look to it. I have a Big Dabber, but the thing is worn and I have to buy some more. But these ones are kind of handy too, because I just stick it on my finger, and when I'm inking, trying to do it quickly instead of having, it just works really well. Okay, so sometimes I'll just crinkle it a bit. Oh, that really hurt. And then I want to give it a bit of a, you don't want it to look so new. So I work on the, there we go. Oh. Sorry guys, that's really bad. Maybe I should have tried to put a bandage on it somehow. There we go. And so what I'm going to do is I'm literally going to fold it. Just don't know how small I have to fold it. So let's pull, I might have to fold it more. Yes, so we're going to have to fold it in half. Or do I go like this? Should have done that first, check before I did that, but then it's going to be too high before I put any creases in there. All right, so we are going to have to fold it like this. That's okay. Nothing wrong with it. Just fold it up nicely. And there we go. We're going to stick that in there. And it's actually got a gingerbread recipe, a gingerbread house recipe showing you all the things. I want it because it kind of had that theme on the page, so I debated all over and over what I want it to do. Now I'm trying to decide, do I want gingerbread recipe to show or the picture? I think I like the picture showing. Or maybe not. There we go. So that I'm going to tuck in there. And now the other side. I love searching. That's why I offer packages, because I do love to search, and it sometimes takes a really long time because I follow links, because I'm very careful with copyright. I'm careful it doesn't belong to an Etsy shop or another type of shop. So I'll follow and follow and follow and follow a link. And to make sure, and sometimes that takes a long time to do. I belong to Graphic Fairy. I now have a lot of respect for what she does and all the graphics she has, because it takes a lot of time. A lot of time. Some things, when I put those packages together, I have spent, this one isn't going to tear as easy. Because when it's smaller, it doesn't tear as easy. So we're going to have to just, okay, unfortunately. Sometimes I try to rough it up with the scissors, but it doesn't always work. Got a little bit there, but not much. Okay, so I doubt this is going to tear for me. Again, no, but I'll get, a little bit. There we go. Yeah, that works. Now all that fun little scraps. And I have to be careful, because the other day I rubbed my hands along this and I got a pretty good sliver from it. But like when I was saying, I search, I don't mind doing it. Sometimes I'm watching shows, because sometimes I'm watching a show and I don't have to actually watch it. I can listen to it, certain things. Sometimes my Bold and the Beautiful is like that. I necessarily don't always have to see the I can hear it. Especially right now, it's a little bit redundant. It's moving very slow right now. So I don't want to miss anything, because sometimes when it moves slow, all of a sudden something happens and you don't know. I've been watching Bold and Beautiful since it started. I used to follow Young and the Restless, but when I separated and moved away and I couldn't afford cable, I never could watch it. And Bold and Beautiful was easy to catch, and I could watch it on Global on CTV on my computer, but Young and the Restless, I can't. I don't know what station Young and the Restless is on now. It used to be Global. It might still be, but maybe CTV. I don't know. But I can't get it on CTV, so I lost track. And I tried to start it up, but I missed so much of it that I just... And the characters changed so quick. I was a Guiding Lights As the World Turns, and I started that as a teenager. I got chickenpox when I was a teenager in high school, and I had to stay home. And back then, you had to get up to change the channel. So it was on As the World Turns and Guiding Light, because I was watching Young and the Restless and Bold and Beautiful. And then after Bold and Beautiful was As the World Turns, and then it was Guiding Light. So, and I watched those. I loved them. I missed those shows. Oh, I loved those two soaps. And they were two of the oldest soaps. They started out on radio. And just recently, one of the characters from As the World Turns, Lucinda Welch, and I can't think of her name, Lucinda Hubbard, I think it is, passed away recently. And then it started me thinking of how many of the actual stars, some of the old timers that have been on there from radio, have gone on, and characters that were older when I started watching it. Sometimes, you know, I forget that I'm in my 50s until you see people that were young adults on TV shows and you see their age or they're passing on. One of the ones that Betty White hit me hard, her death. I loved, always loved. And I feel that way of Cara Burnett, who has celebrated her 90th birthday. We always watch the Cara Burnett show, Mama's Family. I loved those shows. You know, grew up on Gilligan's Island. You know, and my parents were, we watched a lot of old movies, and I was really introduced. I was an Elvis Presley fan. I loved all of his movies. My favorite movie is Girls is one of my favorites. GI Blues are two of my top favorite ones. Blue Hawaii. So there's the Rouseabout, and here in Canada we had a PBS, but it was like they gone by donation, so every once in a while they'd have a weekend marathon of old movies, and we'd watch Shirley Temple movies, Elvis Presley movies, Bing Crosby, Singing in the Rain. So I was always introduced. There we go, we'll just do that. So I was very fortunate that way, and I loved it all. But even now, you know, like Leave It to Beaver was older when I watched it. But 8 is Enough, I loved. Happy Days. Oh, I was a Happy Days freak. And when I was in love with Scott Baio, that was my teenage crush. Scott Baio and Eric Sadros. I never pronounce it right. From Chips. I had posters of them and Sean Cassidy on my wall. So that's what I'm going to put in those pockets. Each of them has a recipe on them. This is Grandma's Sugar Plum recipe. And so I wanted those in there. And then I found something, and I didn't do the back, and I should use my trimmer. I should. And I loved, we didn't watch a lot of TV, but we did watch some. That was a big family time for us because we played outside a lot. But in the evening, that was a lot of times we ate in front of the TV to watch our shows. On Sunday was always Sunday dinner, and then we'd go watch Walt Disney movie. You know, what was the one with the buggy? The old, you know, even Old Yeller. Oh, that was devastating when Disney did good Disney movies on Sunday evenings. That was a tradition in our house. Tuesday nights was Happy Days, and later it was Joni Loves Chachi. If I'm up at the park with my friends because I was older, I'd come home. Only one time did I miss it, and that was because a couple of the neighborhood boys, one of the boys that I had a crush on, had us at the park trapped with these elastic guns. You know, boys back in those days. Me and my best friend at the time, Deanna. And the boys that were with us, she had a crush on one and I had a crush on the other. So that worked out, and they happened to be friends. That was convenient for us too. But I remember missing it, and I was so mad at them. So it still didn't cut close. I need a new, I know it looks terrible because I need a new blade. I'm going to order it this week. I'm going to just have to break down and stop ordering the fun things and order the necessity, a blade. Because it chops up my paper, and it won't even cut thin paper. It just tears it up really good. Oh, I just swept. I'll have to sweep again. Wow, it really didn't like this one cardstock I get from Michael's. My trimmer really doesn't like it. I'm almost out, so I need to make a trip to Michael's. I was hoping to catch a sale where you buy one, get one half price, or buy one, get one free on the paper. Kept hoping that would come up soon so I can stock up. Sometimes I go through the card stock pretty quickly. It was really rough. Wow. Okay. I'm just gonna, because I'll have to sweep again. Anyways, sometimes I sweep my floor 3 times a day. And then my friend will still come downstairs and say, oh, your floor needs sweeping. I said, yeah, I know, I've already swept it twice, but I've been cutting. Okay, so now we need paper for the back of these. Will one of these fit on here? Yep, so we'll go ahead, glue one here. Nothing too exciting happening here, guys. I'm trying to get these pockets filled. And I want to get some work. One of my Merry Mondays after I do the video, I want to just sit and I'm going to make some ephemera packages up for Christmas. And so that in July, I will have, and I have to go home for a period of time at the end of May for a baby shower and a wedding. And then normally I go home for 2 weeks in the summer up to my sister's trailer, but I'm not this year because the train ticket's very expensive, and that's not a big deal. But this next year, February, we have a big trip planned to Jamaica, and we have a really nice hotel we want to stay at. It's a splurge. And so I got to save for that. And so me and my sister were talking. The train ticket's $300. And then, of course, there's food for 2 weeks. There's, you go shopping, you go here, you go there. And the vacation can add up to, roughly around $500 when you add in train ticket and food and all that stuff. So that's a big chunk for Jamaica. So we decided that this summer I would not go home for summer holidays. And I probably then won't see my family till when we go to Cuba, because I don't go home over Christmas, because then it's just my sister doesn't really celebrate it. She only usually takes a few days off to be able to help parents out over the Christmas holidays, with because a lot of people only get a couple of days off. They still have to go to work, so she'll still have her daycare. And of course she's not going to take it because we're going away to Jamaica in February. And so I think we're going for 10 days. So she's got to make sure she has that vacation time. So I thought maybe we were going to do craft shows this year, but her sewing area, she does sewing, really nice sewing stuff, is kind of in a shambles right now. She's been in the midst of downsizing and getting rid of stuff, and her sewing machine and all of the fabrics and that are kind of piled, and she's just not up to it right now. But that might change by the fall. Right now her trailer opens, and usually almost every weekend they're up at the trailer. So enjoy our short trailer season. So it might change, but again, we were thinking, when I used to be able to get bus there, and I used to get bus fare cheap, sometimes I'd get $10 tickets each way, and then my other ticket would be $20 each way. So I used to be able to come home for under $100. It was easier. Now the only way for me to get home is by train. And unfortunately, train is not cheap. It's cheaper than flying, but it's still not cheap. So when I do go home for the wedding And it's a long stay because the baby shower is the 28th of May and the wedding is June 10th. And I have to come a couple days beforehand because if I catch a train on like a Wednesday, it's cheaper than the Thursday or the Friday by quite a bit. So it becomes a very long stay. And my friend upstairs, he's not thrilled because he hates taking care of my cats. It's the litter, and they really miss me, and they have a little bit more behavioral problem when I'm gone. They fight more, and he says really bad fighting, and they don't get my attention, so they're always begging him for attention, so they're meowing all the time. So he dreads taking care of them. And part of it's the litter. It's a lot of work taking care of the litter. And I can't take my cat. My cats would not do well going to like a cat place, hotel, or whatever they call them now. My cats wouldn't be able to do that. They're just not able. Like I would never be able to bring a third cat into my house. They would just not have any of it. Sometimes they don't tolerate each other, and they're sisters and born together and have been with each other from birth, and they don't tolerate each other sometimes. Right now they're being cute sisters. They're curled up in my bed sleeping. That's okay. I don't need another. I would have tons of cats if I could. But, you know, there's a cost to it. And so when I got them, I had a job. So I'm trying to decide if I want to cordon around these or just leave them like that. I'm trying to decide. And I'm hoping they fit in that pocket. I kind of wanted a themey pocket. I really themed it. I always knew when I got that page I wanted it to be surrounding gingerbread men, cookies. So I'm bad with corners, so you'll always see me gluing corners because somehow I miss corners. Always, always, always. So I always do this. Still feel like I'm missing a... Now we gotta ink this side. And that's 2 pockets done. Woohoo! The middle page done. Oh, I really need to ink that. You should see how hard you probably can see how hard I'm rubbing it. And I'm not hardly getting any ink. Yep, that needs glue. So I always test my corners. Okay, that one's fully inked now. I think we just got the back of this. We did. Okay, so let's bring the journal over. And we will add this into here. Uh-oh. There we go. I thought it glued shut, but it didn't. There we go. And the one says Mrs. Claus's Sweet Shop. I can't say words. And the Mrs. Claus Gingerbread Bakery. There we go. And they are done. And then I got to decide if I'm going to cut these short or if I'm going to... I'm not got good at the beading part of this yet. I don't have good beads. I need to practice. So I got to decide because this is really long. And it drives me crazy even right now. So there we go. Only thing I have to do is a cluster here. And I don't have stuff out for a cluster. I'm going to do the clusters on that. I'm thinking I want to do like a layered ribbon cluster here. So I only have that left of that to do on that page. And I got to... On this one, I don't know yet what I'm doing with it. This I'm going to probably put stickers or stencil. This we haven't decided either. Oh, we have this to finish, so we'll so I made that tuck out of that. And then I just have this I had as a freebie from Artie Mays, so I'm going to put that in there. This one, the one that was giving me problems that will go to, oh, this here, was folded right in half on the other side. I reversed it, and I folded one side over to make like a little narrow. I don't have anything I'm going to put in it. I wanted to put a bookmark, but I'm hoping these will fit on here. I have these that I wanted to put there. I'm just seeing what is on that page. I think I'm going to try that one. And I think I'm just going to tear it with a ruler. I'm hoping it's long enough. I bought this digital, and I not that I mind buying digitals, but this is all I got, and I paid $4. And I could have designed this myself, but I was in a hurry. So I find this was a little too expensive for a digital for what I got. I thought it would be 2 pages and that they would be longer. I didn't know they were this short. Unfortunately, that happens sometimes when you buy a digital. The pictures you see and what you think, well, it doesn't have to be the full length. It can just be like that. Nothing wrong with that either. So there's not a lot of digitals. I'm disappointed that way, but on occasion, or I'll buy a digital pack and I only like 1 or 2 of the papers, and that's it. That does happen. And some of my earlier days, I was trying to find my style. I should have done this before I glued it, but I wasn't thinking. I was trying to figure out how I wanted to work this little narrow page. And I tossed and turned if I was just going to make it be a flop, but then I decided to do this. So I wished I would have inked it up beforehand. Hands are going to be brown from ink. So let's do this here. If I wanted to, I could add more to it myself. Let me see. Maybe we'll figure something out and make it, collage it a bit more. Let's see what we can do. I'll just ink this up first. And I'm a digital lover. And I became a digital lover because I have a hard time finding books and magazines here. So digitals are my love. And that's why I started searching for, people that scan or give away free vintage stuff that they uploaded. And I just do it vintage myself. I see some white that I didn't do very well over here. So, do I want to add that to that? Oh, I think that's just fine the way it is. You don't have to overdo it, but for some reason I'm having a hard time inking this one. Let's see, every time I put it on the brown paper bag. There we go. And then I might end up turning one of these into the bookmark that goes in it. That's probably what I'll do. And I know exactly maybe what I'll do. We'll do it just in 1 second. We'll probably collage it a bit more. This glue stick is amazing, but it's sticky. There, I like that. That turned out, and it was a nice, quick, easy way to, and I could do the same, put a little belly band on this side or leave it that way. But there's not a lot of room and I don't want to do, I might just leave it for writing. I'll ink it up and maybe I'll put a small little piece there. But I know exactly what I'm going to do. I make a new style tag and someday I'll have to do it thanks to, I know for sure I got kind of the style from 507. I'm just going to move my one box because I want to just kind of stick this here. And it's not your typical tags. And I made a bunch of them. So I'm just going to try to see what I have here. It's collaging on one side. Oh. But I could trim some of those up, but I want to see. Maybe this one. That one would work. But I kind of did it where you could write on this. I got to just add another maybe piece there to write on. And then I could collage the front of it. So like, for instance, this you can't fully write on it, but you could, if you wore a black marker, you could over top of that. So these are too wide. Ugh. I didn't let them dry long enough before I piled them up. They're not like stuck where they're. So let's go with one of these two. Do I want to trim this up? No, I will go with the one that fits in there quite nicely. And it's got a bit of writing on it and where you can write on it. And I'm not worried about the overhang. So what we're going to do with this is we're now, which way is this going to go? So we want to make sure it's sitting up the right way. And this, I use book pages from, I bought 2 of the same book by accident because I buy, I go to garage sales or used bookstores, and if I know an author I like, but I forgot I had already bought this one. I'm jumping back and forth. I think I'm going to go to the one I really like here. House is so quiet. My computer shut off. I have no idea what time it is. I know I started just about 2:17. Just going to flip my computer so I can see the time. And again, I thought of a timer when I went up to go for my lunch. And then by the time I cooked my lunch, did my peppers for dinner tonight, I forgot to bring it again with me. Okay, so we're almost done. So how am I going to be able to get this tag done? Boy, that time goes so fast, people. Wow. It really does. I'm just going to use my scissors there. So I can't put this whole thing on. Which is okay, because we'll use the pieces to collage further, other than here. I'm pretty sure I'm putting that like that. I'm going to, of course, go with the white, get rid of the white edges. And we might end up putting this here. That's not a problem. And then we're going to pull in, I need something bright. Bright, bright, bright. Ooh. Can I get just, I don't want to use the poinsettias. Oh, it might not be thick enough. We're going to see. Oh, it might. And it might not be. We'll see. I'm not worried. I'm going to use it anyway because I like the brightness of it. So I'm going to just go ahead and glue that down. I'm just going to run my glue stick on there. And I just glued it to the board because I wasn't being careful because I'm trying to hurry to get this done. Okay, so we'll just have to move that over there. Before we can glue this part on, we must ink it because there is a lot of white because I tore it. And I won't get time now, but I'm going to try to see if I can find myself maybe a little gingerbread man to stick on here. Maybe. Or a bird. We're going to lose some of it, but again, we're just going to ink along here. How did I do? Pretty good. Pretty good, pretty good. I'm going to have to trim it, of course, but that I'm not worried about. And this is just, I made this with book page and scraps. This type of tag. There we go. We're going to save that. We'll use that. Never know where we might use that. A little more glue on it. There we go. I took that piece and just collaged it into there, and I'm taking this piece, I'm just going to trim this up. And you could put more on this if you wanted to do more. I might later look for maybe a little gingerbread or a little something to go there. Go through my fussy cuts. But because when Jacob comes home and get his snack, and that, because I have to go right out at 4, and I'm going to put this here. And I think I know exactly what I want to put there, but I just don't know where they are right now. And it'll take a few minutes. I think I know what image I want to put there. There we go. We're going to put that there. And you can do this 2 ways. You could turn it into a bookmark, or you could do it in a tall, skinny journal. Bookmark. I have to let this dry, but I'm just going to probably punch a small little hole and just tie a red and white string on it, and then I'm just going to slide it in here. That's going to sit in there. But it kind of, because you got to be careful when you're turning that page, and that's what we're going to put in there. I just want to add a little something there. What time is it? So that 3:08. Got a couple minutes. Let's see what I can do. Where I put it. I thought it was just sitting right here. Where did I move it to the other day? Okay, this is really bizarre. because I keep my tin of, I had my tin of Christmas fussy cuts right there, but it's not sitting there, but I don't see it anywhere around. That's really bizarre. I don't know where I put it. That is really, really bizarre. Oh, never mind. I found it. Let's see if I can find something really quickly. I'm falling out of my chairs, guys. There we go. And like I could add in some fussy cut on there, like this across there, which I like. So I might pull that there. Let's see if I've got glasses on so I can see better in my little, I think she's too big. Yep. I need a little tiny, I have an idea what I want to put there, but it's a question if it's going to fit. Oh, if I would have moved that up, that might have been cute there because it's, or this Santa Claus, because it says Santa Claus South Pole, so I thought of putting, oh, there we go. Da, 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 da. I like when things come together that easily. Okay, I'll make sure we put that back where it belongs. So two things we're going to do, just to add a little something here. It's kind of got the same little vibe to it. We're going to it's not easy to ink because it's so small. There, we'll collage that a little bit more. There we go. Then we're going to lift this back up. We're going to go here. I'm going to take and just, with fussy cutting a lot of times, I find I don't need to like have this part, but around the edges, just because the white paper kind of shows after you've cut. So that is about it. I usually do, so that the white doesn't stand out as much. And I want him right there. Let's throw some glue on there. Oh, I hear a little monster coming. There we go. I really like it. And you can right there, I'm going to put probably something Christmassy down the side here just to add, but I want it very thin. Well, welcome home, my love. No, Mama's not here right now. We're going to go get her later, but we have to pick up her birthday cake and cards for her first. Yeah, after Papa finishes working. He's going through the stage where he calls his mom Gab and his papa Andre. He's using their first names. I think all kids do it. I just reinforce that it is Papa and Mama. He sometimes calls, I'm Tia most of the time, but every once in a while he uses Christina. There we go. I just wanted to put a little something, make it look a little Christmassy up there. And there you go. And you can write right on that. I'm just not liking that top. So I'm going to just trim that up. There we go. And I'm just going to have to ink this, and that's all. And then we'll call that done. Now, if I don't like it, I might decide to cover the whole thing with writing paper. I'm not sure yet. There we go. And I'm not liking that, so I got to get rid of that.